Hello from me, Lazarus. Welcome to the next lesson in the series on Introduction to the Lazarus IDE. First, let me reiterate that I'm working on the third part of my book, where you'll see a very interesting program for sales in a store. It's actually a whole program system. And there I'll actually show the actual workflow of the build. Something that you won't see anywhere else generally. We'll continue now with the next lessons. So, we've completed the free part of the lessons for my second book, as you know, on my website. The free chapters are free to download. And here you can click and download the corresponding file in PDF format. We have already reached those parts that are grayed out and inactive. These are chapters to the paid part. And here we will only have brief introductions. We will not look at the entire lessons, of course, because they, as we said, are part of the paid part. And we start with the Firebird database. Let's open the PDF file. So, we start with the Firebird database. It's a well-known database, I guess, to many of you, because it's quite old, dating back to the year 2000. I'm writing this chapter at the request of my readers, who wrote to me that they really wanted to see something like this in our second book, about Firebird and how to work with it on the Lazarus IDE. Firebird is an open-source SQL database system that supports Windows, Linux, Mac, and other Unix-like platforms. It was created from the open-source edition of Borland InterBase in 2000, then the code was largely rewritten after Firebird 1.5. It's free and free to use. At the time of writing this, a year ago, in early 2025, you may find several versions in use. You see from 1.5 in 2009 to 5.0, in 2024, this is the last one. And don't you at all wonder why that is? Why, for example, can you find version 1.5, 2 or 2.1 first? Why? Because when we create some kind of database system, it is very difficult to change and update later. This is not a program, or updating your browser, let's say. These are complex dependencies, interconnections, interactions. And, if they in the new version, they may be changed in some way. If you upgrade, it may blow up your entire database and cause you a lot of problems. That's why upgrades here are done extremely rarely, only if there's a real need for such a thing. So, basically Firebird is designed as a client-server database. That is, this means that the database is located on a remote server on the internet and you connect to it. Until version 2.5 Firebird didn't have an embedded version, and from version 3 onwards, there isn't one either. There's a bit of weird stuff here. Their explanation is that the very architecture of building the base has changed. The embedded version is no longer offered separately. And what does embedded mean? Just to mention it, it means a version for local use, like SQLite, for example, which in the case of Firebird, is not a single file, but for example a single folder, and which you can copy to your computer and work with a program built into it, on your computer, not on the internet. That means built-in. And currently on their official website of Firebird you can download the new versions. But I won't go there right now. For our example, we will currently use only the embedded installation, without installing Firebird on our computer. And with the other installation, the server one, you need to install, set an IP address, password, and in general things get complicated. As a basis, we will use these two articles from the Lazarus Wiki. Let's open them. Here's the first one, which describes about Firebird, what it is. Right. And the second one is specifically about Firebird Embedded. It's a bit different from SQLite here, simple work, one file to be searched. Here, a lot of copying is done. Here you see how many files should be in the directory, and so on, but we'll cover that on the paid part. That's all for this tutorial. And the full version, of course, you can see in my paid course, or read about it in my book. That's all from me. Best regards.